Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And I don't know about you, but where I am, it is particularly wet and raining. And we've got more to come over the next couple of days as Storm Babette moves through. I know the people in Aberdeen are expecting probably the worst of it, so good luck if you're up in the northeast of Scotland. We're going to take a look at a story here about Anum Qaisar. And she has opened her big mouth and accused the Tories of what she calls political cronyism. And this is particularly ironic coming from a woman who was basically dropped into one of the safest seats going, had personal backing from Humza Yousaf, and I will say at this point there is no evidence at all that she was aided in any way by packets of envelopes of cash being handed around. That's not it, okay? That's not it. Let's not go there. We won't mention that. And neither, of course, shall I mention the scandalous rumour, and that's all it is, just a scandalous rumour, that she and Humza Yousaf had an affair. It would be quite improper to mention that, and so I shan't. And put that out. There's no evidence of it, and I don't believe it happened. So, we'll move on and have a look at what she's been saying, because it is a bit ironic, really. Here goes. That's rich. Safe seat parachute MP Anum Qaisar blasts Tories for political cronyism. Yeah, political cronyism, she says, as she gets lumped into the safest seat going at the personal behest of the leaders of the party. There's little nasty little deals going on and things, and there she is. She turns up and bang, as the party is being handed over slowly to a certain group. The former caseworker for Humza Yousaf, and there is something else about her as well, which I'll come to in time. Anyway, the former caseworker for Humza Yousaf, was a surprise choice for the Airdrie and Shotts by-election in 2021, with some suggesting her links to the powerful party figures had allowed her to steal pole position. Yes, it was definitely a position that involved a poll, I suspect. Nationalist MP Anum Qaisar has risked accusations of hypocrisy by twice blasting the Conservatives for politically motivated cronyism during a debate at Westminster. She has faced similar claims herself after she was parachuted into the safe SNP seat of Airdrie and Shotts at the age of just 28, having previously worked as a caseworker for Humza Yousaf. Never had a real job, never had a real job, but did have a rich daddy, apparently, allegedly. Not saying any more. And it's nothing to do with those envelopes of cash, I'm sure. Former Nat councillor Paul Damasio has claimed he was blocked by the party establishment. He's come up, worked his ticket, got there, and they said, no, we have a young Asian lady, and for some magical reason, we prefer her over you, putting envelope in pocket, allegedly. Miss Qaisar, a former private school teacher, not a real job really, is it? Was a member of the Muslim Friends of Labour. You see, so here's someone who's gone from Labour to the SNP, and yet, strangely, didn't have the bother boys turning up at her house, issuing death threats to her. If it had been the other way round, of course, that's what would have happened, because that's how the SNP operate, isn't it? Anyway, she switched to the Skexit cause during the 2014 and the referendum, and soon attracted the interest of high-ranking SNP figures, Nicola Sturgeon and her husband Peter Murrell, who attended her wedding in 2015. And we'll have a look at that picture in a second. But anyway, speaking to the Sunday Mail in June, Mr Damasio said that Miss Sturgeon and Mr Murrell intervened in the selection process ahead of the Airdrie and Shotts by-election in 2021. He said, I believe there is no question that the selection process to stand as a candidate was rigged to make sure Anum got that seat. Of course it was. Nothing to do, as I say, with envelopes full of cash. Now, here's the picture of the wedding. Now, why on earth would a woman of her heritage wear that blue outfit? She's not Asian, she's not Indian, she's not anything like that. Why would she wear that? And I don't know what it's called, but it is a particular style of dress. Is she trying to show that she's culturally aware? Well, it seems very odd, doesn't it? Why wouldn't she wear just her normal clothes? Strange. She elected to stand in the by-election, despite months earlier also being put forward for a seat at Holyrood in the Scottish election in the same year. The vote came after the sitting MP Neil Gray resigned in order to stand in the overlapping Holyrood constituency. So Neil Gray moved from Westminster to Holyrood, and she was in there, like a rat up a drain pipe. In the Commons, leader Stephen Flynn's most recent reshuffle, Ms Qaisar was given the job of the SNP's Levelling Up spokeswoman. During a debate on the Levelling Up and Regeneration Bill on Tuesday, she declared the Tory track record on levelling up is weak at best and politically motivated cronyism at worst. And that's a bit rich, as I say, coming from her, who's had to rely on her close contact with Humza Yousaf and the patronage of Murrell and Sturgeon, the lavender pair. Ignoring requests to speak from fuming Tories, including John Redwood and Liam Fox. She's too scared to speak, and she's not bright enough to make a point, basically. She again accused the UK government of political cronyism, something she's read somewhere, perhaps, I don't know, and said, despite promising to put power in the hands of local people, the amendments show that the bill in its entirety is nothing but a thinly veiled attempt by Westminster to roll back on the devolution settlement. I'm surprised you can read it. Mr Redwood then asked why the SNP, and before that Scottish Labour, had failed to level up Scotland during more than 2 decades of devolution. He said Scotland has always had considerably more money per head for public services than England, yet the Scottish growth rate had been lower than the English growth rate. It's basically mainly due to what is now getting on for 17 years, of course, of SNP rule. Money can't be spent where it's needed. It must always be spent on independence. Responding to the government, Levelling Up Minister Rachel Maclean said the bill addresses the entrenched disparities that exist across the United Kingdom, backed by billions of pounds worth of funding, including, I must add, for Scotland. And the Honourable Member for Airdrie Scots, who spoke for the Scottish National Party, was a little ungenerous. I think she meant ingenerous, but anyway, in her remarks. So I want to land with her the significant investment that the government are making in Scotland. I think the figure is about 394 million to boost communities across the country. So basically she's standing there and saying, unfair, blah, blah, cronyism. And this coming from a woman who's not earned her place. She's been parachuted in. She's been dropped in on the basis of it would look good if we had someone brown in that seat. We don't have enough brown people. How did Humza Yousaf put it? Too many white people in a majority white people country. Well, it's the racism. It's the natural racism. So basically they took away a seat from a man who'd earned it all those years. Hard work, dedication to the party, deserved to stand. They took it away from a white man and gave it to a woman of colour. Because woke correctness. She hasn't earned it. She's not capable of doing it. She's not clever enough for it. She hasn't got the life experience for it. But allegedly, and it's a scurrilous rumour, Daddy was handing out envelopes of cash, allegedly. Tell me again why she got that seat? Coming up. So the SNP being a bit hypocritical and shady, and then not willing to discuss the matter by remaining in her seat and not talking about it. Yeah, who'd have thought it, eh? Are we all surprised? Are we all stunned and astonished? No, neither am I. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll finish this one there. Thank you very much for watching. Hope it's been illuminating. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, if you want true cronyism, you only have to look at the SNP where everybody is married to everybody else. Bye.